Hi, friends. This is Wendy Harrop, and welcome to the Say Yes to Yourself podcast. On the Say Yes to Yourself podcast, you'll hear stories from women just like us who are adding the practice of saying yes in their daily lives in big and small ways, and as a result, are experiencing the truth that everybody wins when you say yes to yourself. Saying yes to yourself is a graceful unfolding, an intentional becoming of the very best version of you. It is my hope that in these conversations, we are able to find our truth and be inspired and empowered to live our very best lives. I'm so excited to go on this journey with you, and I look forward to finding a bit of our own story in each other's. Bonjour, ma chérie. Hello, hello from beautiful France. How are you? I am so good. I just love being here. This beautiful country, specifically this gorgeous city of Paris, reminds me around every corner that my dreams are not too big. I am absolutely obsessed with the woman that I become on the other side of these trips. And I also love beginnings. So I'm so happy that my month-long trip is only just started and it has been dreamy and fabulous every second. I'm so glad you're here with me. I'm so glad that you have decided to spend some time listening to inspiring stories of women that are saying yes to themselves in big and small ways. I'm so excited that I definitely feel like one of them today because I am in France. But oh my word, today's guest, she makes me look like a slacker. She is unbelievable. She is fearless. She is just taking the world by storm, is not available for no to be an answer. And yet she is completely aligned, completely in her gifts, and such a gorgeous embodiment of what I believe the mantra of the universe to be, which is more. Today, we have the phenomenal Italia Tornabene. She is a best-selling, multi-award-winning author whose powerful voice blends truth, transformation, and triumph. Her name, now a registered trademark, stands for resilience, reinvention, and results. She is the visionary behind Tornabene Collection, a diverse library of books that span from heartwarming children's stories to bold autobiographies, financial literacy tools, and empowering self-help titles. Each book is rooted in real-life lessons and written to inspire, uplift, and educate. Italia has earned several prestigious writing honors, including the Mom's Choice Award and the #1 bestseller status in multiple categories. Beyond her words, she is an accomplished entrepreneur who has built successful companies, launched a luxury wine brand, and founded a nonprofit for women and single mothers. And not listed on this amazing list, she was also 2024 Miss New York. The woman doesn't sleep, I don't think. She is so inspiring. She is so delightful. She is so resourceful. She is just a wonderful, wonderful human being with such a fabulous story, and I am delighted to share it with you today. Please enjoy this uplifting conversation with Italia Tornabene. Italia, I am so looking forward to this conversation. I can't wait to hear all the beautiful things that are filling all of your beautiful days. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for inviting me, Wendy. I really, really appreciate it. And I'm excited to tell you.
Yay, yay. Well, let's just start. How are you saying yes to yourself in this season?
I am definitely protecting my energy.
Mm.
I'm honoring my growth and choosing peace, clarity, and legacy building this season.
Oh my gosh, that's delicious. That is such a beautiful answer. What does that look like for you?
I am dedicating every hour, every moment, into my businesses and just evolving and growing and being part of that journey. I'm glued to my desk from 5 in the morning sometimes till 2 in the morning. No joke.
Yeah, I believe it.
I'm loving it. I'm not complaining. I'm loving building these businesses. And anybody that's an entrepreneur will understand this, but I'm at that expansion phase, but I'm doing it for three. So it's very costly and it's very time consuming. I've got so many people that I'm dealing with that yeah, it's convoluted, but it's fun. The journey has been amazing.
I love it. Right? I mean, and that's we see all the posters and read all those affirmation cards that it's not the destination, it's the journey. But when you are on this type of journey, this journey that you're on times three, this journey that I'm on, it's true. It's like every single day, it's like, oh my gosh, that was the best day ever.
Yes. And I ended 2024 thinking, wow, this was the best year I've ever had. But 2023, I said the same thing. And now here we are in 2025, and I have a feeling this is going to be an even better year.
Totally. I feel like January 2025, I had an entire year's worth of expansion in that 1 month.
Yes.
So this whole year has been like, oh my God, take even so I'm so excited, right? I can't even like get the words out. I only record podcast interviews on Thursdays, but today, because I'm also interviewing a woman in Australia, I have 6 interviews today.
Amazing.
I'm I'm already obsessed with myself. Like I'm like, oh, I have to take a picture of myself in the morning and in the night because I will not be recognizable. The expansion, the growth, the opportunity to have these gorgeous conversations with women that I've never met, but my soul is attached to. It's just oh my gosh, it's so good.
I think it's amazing when women can come together and we support each other and we are our growth. We're like patting each other on the back, like, let's go, let's go, let's go. It's not easy being a woman and it's not easy being a mom and it's not easy being a business owner. So the more support team that you have, just the better the journey is. And so
Oh,
thank you for
for
this
sure.
podcast because you bring us all together.
Ew, it's my greatest pleasure. And this is the most fun and fabulous thing that I do of all the fun and fabulous things I do.
Yes. What else do you do?
I own a historic bed and breakfast on a small flower farm in New England.
Yes, I
I
read
know.
that. That's right.
Dreamy, dreamy.
Yes.
I lead culinary trips to France for solo female travelers.
Oh
I
my
know.
gosh, we have to
I
go.
know. Yes, you do have to go. It's amazing. I'm a single mom to the most amazing human, Amelia. She's 11. She's a fashion designer. She is a
Okay.
total queen. She's unbelievable. I love her so much. We just celebrated 9 years of having her in our family. We adopted her from China, and she's just remarkable. I've just purchased the 30 acres that border my property, that was originally a part of this house. This house was built in 1785. So now I have a pond. It's all just so dreamy. It's my dream, right? And I love inviting women into it to have the pattern interrupt required to get in touch and remind them of what their dream is. And it doesn't have to be the same as me. I mean, if it is, I'm happy to show you how it's done. But we all have something inside of us that is longing for more. And I want to normalize that more is absolutely makes sense and is a yes. And we are satisfied with what we have and eager for more.
Yeah. And there's nothing wrong with that. Go for it. Right?
Oh my gosh, of course, there's nothing wrong with it. And the fact that you want it is proof that it will work,
Yep.
right? We're doing the work, we're doing the internal work. so that we know what the next right step is by how we feel. And just like you are being energized, a time at your desk, I am energized, a time in the flower field, on the airplane, like all of these things, we can know what our yes is by practicing it.
Yes. Yes. I love
It's
that.
so good. Okay, so three businesses that you're growing right now.
Yes.
Have you always been
Oh,
entrepreneurial? Are these just the three that are left? Like, what is happening?
oh, I'm actually on my eighth business.
Amazing.
So I started off, I was an entrepreneur at the age of, well, hold on, I had like lemonade stands and stuff. So let's go
Sure.
way, way back. Okay.
Right.
But as an adult, my first big business was a paralegal business, and I was 21. I think I was 21. It went so well that I opened up a second one. So I had two paralegal businesses in different counties because you have to be licensed in different counties. You have to run them as separate businesses. So yeah, so I had two, and then I almost quit my government job because I mean, this is back in the day. This was before people were working from home. But I was
Right.
like, wow, this is amazing. I'm making more than I am at my government job. And, I'm doing this on the side and I can work from home. And then I started thinking, do I need that job? And I went to I really heavily thought about quitting my job one day. And I kid you not, that same week, everything that I was doing for people, you could do online by yourself for $50. The
Oh,
courts transferred their system to where everything's online, and my business like was gone overnight.
wow.
Yeah, but I learned so much in the process. I learned
Sure.
so much to this day. Like I could do legal documents, like no problem. And it had nothing to do with my schooling because you learn in school, but you really learn better hands on.
Totally.
So it taught me a lot about business as well. And then, went back to my government job. And then I wasn't an entrepreneur for many years. And then COVID hit. And then when COVID hit, I started cleaning homes. And I guess, I don't know what happened. I blew up overnight. Like it was huge. And then I hired my first employee within the first 2 months. But because it's physical labor, I had to worry about the legalities of it, especially if there was a
Sure.
slip and fall. So I said, well, if I'm going to hire somebody to help me and maximize my income, I have to do it right. So I had to turn it into a business. It wasn't the intention.
Right.
Originally I had to turn it into a business, and it was slowly but surely because you find out you have to have insurance. So you're writing a big check for insurance. You have to have this. They have to have uniforms. I'm like, oh my gosh. So I hired my first employee, and then I blinked my eyes and I have 65.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
So then, in business, I've learned to evolve because, like what happened with my paralegal business, things happened overnight. Things
Yeah.
changed overnight. So when COVID came around, I that's when I started my business, and then you had people calling out for COVID. You can't ask them for sick notes. You can't ask them for doctors, nothing.
Right.
So I had to pivot. I had to learn a lot again. My biggest contract was MGM, and I had most of the clubs up in Vegas, which was really cool. But yeah, it was great. I turned it into two businesses. I taught myself how to do carpet cleaning, grout restore, and upholstery cleaning. Before I passed it on to my staff, I wanted to make sure I could master it because I got a lot of inquiries for cleaning homes, but they were move out cleans.
Mm,
The most lucrative job that you can have when you're doing cleaning is move in and move out cleans because they're usually thousands of dollars because it's very, it's very time consuming. But people
sure.
move into a perfectly clean home. Like you're moving furniture, I mean, you're moving appliances and getting up in the corners. It's insane. But then they would ask me, do you do carpet cleaning? Do you do grout restore? Do you do tile buff?
Mm,
And I'm like, no, but I do everything else. And I started thinking if I incorporate that in there. So I taught myself YouTube Academy. I taught
amazing.
do it, and I went and bought a used machine, and I contacted some of my regulars, and I was like, hey, look, I'm just trying this out. Let me see what, if it works. It worked. They loved it. And then I just started putting ads up, and I would go out as the owner and do it because I figured if I make a mistake, and I
Right.
learned the hard way because not every grout was the same. Not every carpet had the same stain. So I really had to learn. And then I was able to, I say about 6 months later, I actually got a van and I was able to turn it into a whole separate business. And I also got the contract with MGM to do their upholstery, carpet, and tile as well.
Oh my gosh.
It was amazing. And then I left Vegas. I kind of got over the business. I never understood why people sell businesses. I never understood it. I'm like, you work this hard to build something. But I honestly, my heart wasn't in it anymore. I was kind of
Mhm.
over it. And I was like, I was ready to move on to something else. And now that I had learned so much about business, and I'm not saying I'm a know-it-all, but at that time,
No.
thinking, okay, now I know the parts that I need to put in place to build something this massive. And it had
Yeah.
PR, marketing, SEO. Like I created this whole system. And now I use the system on every single business I have. And it's very successful. It's expensive, but it's very, very successful. Yeah. So now I've got three. I can juggle all of them because like I have, the same company doing the advertising. They're doing it for all my businesses, the same company that's building my website. So we have weekly meetings. We all get together. It's a lot of people hands on, but it's very consistent. We all have the same message. We all have the same vision. And that's another thing. Your network is your net worth. Your team that you have
Totally.
is huge to make it work. How many team members do you have?
I have 3.
That's amazing. I know you have like the perfect business to be like minimum. Yeah.
Right. I mean, and it feels like, oh my gosh, let me count them. Do I? Oh, I actually have 4 because I have a seasonal farm hand that helps me on the
Aw,
flower farm, which is so great. Yeah, we're getting ready to I'm building an empire over here.
there you go.
So
Yeah.
there's more on the way.
I was going to say, yes, this is amazing. I can't wait to go visit.
I can't wait to have you.
You got to bring my wine.
Yeah, like let's get to all of these new businesses. Oh my gosh.
I mean, you would love it. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, so now I own the wine. I've been
Okay,
writing.
wait. So you sold the cleaning.
Yes, I sold the cleaning business. My son went off to college. I'm a single mom, and
Okay.
I got pregnant at 16, had him at 17.
Okay.
So I've been a single mom since I was 17. It's just been he and I, and it's been amazing. It's been amazing though. And he left to go to college, and I was in Vegas
Oh,
because I was dancing before I owned, before COVID hit.
sure.
And I'm like, I don't want to do this anymore. I want to get out of this town. It's
Right.
Vegas is an entertainment industry town, so I couldn't see myself evolving any further there. And I said, I have to
Hmm.
get out. So my son went off to college, and I decided to travel the world for a year. And that's what I did.
Amazing.
I could work anywhere, right? You can do whatever you
Right.
want. And I came to New York, and every time I came back to New York, I like cried happy tears. And then I
Mm,
realized, I said, I belong here. This is where I belong.
yeah.
And I've just been evolving since I've been here.
Right.
And it has been amazing. It has been amazing. So once I got settled in, I started really, I've been writing my books for 6 years, but I have so much going on that it was the last of my priorities. It was more like a fun project.
Sure.
I started writing an autobiography, and it took me 6 years to write it. But in between, I was writing books when I needed to take a break. I don't know if you've written an autobiography or not.
No.
Mine was a little bit traumatic. So like I had to put the book away for a little bit, and then I'd come
Mm,
back to it a few months later, and then
sure.
I'd write in between that. But I never took my writing as a serious profession or career ever, 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 ever. And when I did, I turned it into a business. Exactly
So
what I did with my
awesome.
other stuff. So I started doing that. And as you know, marketing books, advertise, it all takes time. So
Hmm.
I know, it's a year or two in the making, but I can get started now. And I launched my first book. And your first book isn't your best, but I've gotten really good feedback on it. It's a little tiny book. It's called Easy Investing. And my sister gave me the idea because as I was writing my autobiography, I would pass on the chapters to my mom and my sister and say, okay, check it out. What do you think? They'd proofread it, or if they had questions, I'd expand on that part. Because
Sure.
if they have the questions, anybody else who's reading it is going to. When they got to the chapter of my book where when I became a self-made millionaire and how I did it, they were so intrigued, and they said, oh my gosh, like I was very distant from my family, not for any other reason, but I was just a hustler. I was moving around, I was working full time.
Hmm.
So they didn't really know what I was doing on the back end, but on the back end I was buying domains for a cent to a dollar. I was buying land for $500, sometimes less. And I was buying gold, like gold bullions from JM Bullion, just little unconventional ways of investing because I didn't have $6,000 to throw into the stock market at the time.
Sure.
So I had to buy little things that would grow eventually, long-term investments, but also I had
Right.
to make sure I wasn't able to cash them out because I had hit rock bottom so many times that I
Mm.
would take my only savings and cash it out, and then I'd be left back at square one. And I'm like,
Mhm.
I don't want to do that anymore. And I wanted to buy stuff that I can hold on to that's not easy for me to cash out. So I have to figure it out. If I hit rock
Yeah.
bottom, I'm not grabbing that stuff. And you got to figure it out, you know?
Right.
Yeah. So they found that really intriguing. My sister's like, my husband and I are doing this now. We're buying this now. And I created a little book out of it. It's like the tiniest little book, but it's like a little excerpt from my autobiography, but it explains my unconventional ways of investing. And a lot of people like it because if you're living check to check, it's a
Mhm.
great way to put some money away. So to this day on my land, I have 180 acres now, but I started
Amazing.
off with these little plots, $500. And I get letters and offers on them daily. Not daily, sorry, monthly. I get letters from attorneys, and it's not worth me selling it yet. I want to pass it
Okay.
on. I don't need it right now. But I think it's just really, really cool that I bought it for $500. Yes, I pay taxes on it for like $20 a year, maybe, but
Right.
that's gone up in price so much. And then the gold, I mean, gold I've been buying since it was $800, and now it's over $3,000.
Amazing.
Yeah. And then the domains, I think, 26 pages of domains,
Oh
and
my
they're
gosh.
all worth over $1,000 each. And I bought them for a cent to a dollar. So these are even with the stock market. Now I have stocks. Now I have art. I have all kinds of investments now. But I'm telling you, these unconventional ways that I wrote in this book gave me the biggest ROI. I mean, the biggest. I've never. How do you get like $1,000, 1,000% return on a cent? You know what
Mhm.
I mean? Like really, really good returns. And yeah, I wrote that book.
It's amazing.
And then the next one I wrote was Baxter Learns to Save. Baxter Learns to Save, I'm actually turning into a series. And I
Oh,
have an
yay.
agent now, so I'm contracted for 3 other books coming out. But Baxter Learns to Save is going to be like a financial literacy series, kind of like Baby Einstein,
Mhm.
but it's going to be about saving, money, investing, and diversifying. So
Awesome.
I started with Baxter Learns to Save. It's actually, yeah, it's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool book. And then Decoding Men. So I was a dancer for 17 years when I left the government. And I know men. Let me tell you, I
Yep.
know men. Because as a dancer, you would have a group of guys walking in, but you only have a certain amount of time to profile which one is your type that you're going to get the money from. Because if you go for a guy that's the partier and you're more reserved, you're not going to get a penny out of him. He's not going to want to go to dance with you. So I had to learn, and it took me about 7 years to really decode these men by the way they dress, by the way they talk, the things that they do, just to know like who they are and their personality. Men are very simple creatures. They're very, very simple, but you just have to decode them a little bit. Like this one's a workaholic, and it's not that he's ignoring you or he doesn't care about you. He's really dedicated to his work.
Sure.
And then you have the partier, the one that has to impress everybody, the one that's the loudest at the bar, the loudest at the lounge. But yeah, so decoding men is, for women or for men or whoever wants to know about their partner.
That's amazing.
I just feel like, throughout life, our journey, we've all learned so much. You know
Yeah.
about Airbnbs, right? I mean, you know about bread and breakfast,
Yeah.
about the pawns now. This is all stuff that you could put in books and pass down for generations to generations to
Mhm.
generations. We
Yep.
all have this knowledge that the other person might not have. And why not put it in a book? It's going to be there forever.
Right? It's
Put them
so
in there.
good.
Put them in books.
Oh my gosh, it's so good. Okay, keep going. I'm here. My face is just aching because my smile is so big. I love all of this. Keep going.
So then I wrote Femme Fatale, and Femme Fatale was a very traumatic time in my life.
Mm.
But it's a fiction book based off of a true story. When I was a dancer, when I was just starting, I was kind of the oddball out because I had a regular government job and I was there dancing because I was a single mom living in a studio apartment. I wasn't able to even afford groceries. Literally every single month, we got paid on the first of the month. And then by the end of the month, I was maxing out my cards to get groceries and gas. Horrible.
Mhm.
So I finally decided to go dance again, right? And met this girl. Her name was Olive, and she had the same situation. She actually was a single mother because her sister had died. and
Oh.
she got custody of the daughter. So she had explained to me like she wasn't ready to be a mom yet. She wasn't expecting this, but she was an accountant for Albertsons back when Albertsons was still a
Mhm. Yep.
she was an accountant for Albertsons, and she was doing the same thing I was, working during the day, coming at night, or working during the day on the weekends. And she started to get distant from me, and I've never really been around drugs, so I didn't really understand this, but she started to get distant from me. I took it personal. I asked what had happened, what did I do? And then she broke down to me one day and she said that she feels like she sold her soul. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Now, I
Mm.
didn't know at this time, I didn't know this part of the nightlife industry. I,
Okay.
I knew some of the girls that I had danced with were kind of wild, but I kind of kept my distance because I was the mom. I was just there, get my money.
Right.
But she told me she started working very late at night because it was more lucrative. Her and I
Mm.
usually would come in after work and we'd leave by 9 or 10 because we had
Okay.
stuff to do. On the weekends, we'd come in the morning early work because we're used to getting up early for work. So we'd
Right.
work the day shift on the weekends. And she just told me she started working till 2 or 3 in the morning, but then she'd have to be at work at 6 in the morning. So she started doing cocaine.
Mm.
And then she started with the bulimia. I guess she was making herself throw up. And
Oh
then she
gosh.
yeah, like she was going through some really, really tough stuff. And then I didn't know any of this was going on. I just saw her distant. And she said that she keeps like trying to fight it, trying to stop. And so I reeled her back in and I'm like, come work day shift
Mm.
with me again, stay away from the night shift. Let's do this together. We were doing fine before. And then the club shut down. It got shut down for some kind of violation. The owner's kind of funny. The owner put in for a business license for a comedy club, but yet he
Oh.
has a strip club. So it was years and years and years of a fight, and the court finally shut it
Oh.
down. So one day we go to work, or there's the doors are closed, the stuff is on it, but so we all went to different clubs. She went to one that was a little bit closer to her house. And then I went to one that was closer to my house. We kind of kept in touch, but we had busy schedules. About 2 months later, all the girls from the club that we used to work at came in to see me dance. And I was on stage and I was like, oh, hey, like they're all here. And then they come down and they sit me down and they're like, hey, like Olive passed away. I was like, what? And I
Oh.
couldn't believe it. She committed suicide. And
Oh.
yeah, it was devastating, and I really didn't believe it. I ran to her club. I ran to her club, and I was like,
Mm.
I asked the manager, and he was like, "Yes, we're sorry, blah, blah." And her family wouldn't let anybody at the funeral, anybody that danced.
Mm.
Yeah, so it was it was pretty bad. But I started thinking about it, and I've never done drugs, and I don't really know why other than my son. That's all I can
Yeah.
up to because I've had it in my face a million times, especially the nightlife industry. It just never really did anything. It didn't intrigue me. So I never understood that part of the decisions that some of the girls would make, but it killed my best friend. And I created Femme Fatale. So Femme Fatale is a stripper that turns into a high-end escort that climbs up the ladder of the cartel. And she assassinates them while they're sleeping together on the
Awesome.
any drug dealer. So she kind of gets her revenge, but the very end of it is really good, and it just got bestseller.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh, congratulations. I'm already hooked. I'm in, so yay.
It's being pitched as a movie, so it's my alter ego, and I finished that before I finished my autobiography. I feel like it was like a healing part of my journey.
For sure.
So all these books have been in the making for 6 years, and I guess, just now launching the whole author and public speaking and all these platforms because I don't know, it's just my journey's now on paper.
Oh my gosh, it's so beautiful. And then now wine. So say
Oh
more
yeah.
about this. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Because it's very important to hydrate.
Yes. So I have acid reflux really bad. And I'm not a big drinker, but if I do drink, I love to have a glass of red wine.
Hmm.
And I can't have red wine anymore. It doesn't matter what kind I drink, it burns going down. I mean, it
Oh
burns
no.
so bad. Yeah, so I kind of stopped drinking for a while, but I would love to have wine with my steak, or
Hmm.
white wine with my pasta, just something. And I started using Chat GPT when, obviously it came out. And
Okay.
I wanted to know what makes wine acidic. And then I wanted to know how to make it non acidic. And it gave me this whole thing about the fermentation process and picking the grapes at a later date. And I contacted every single winery that you could imagine to do this with me. And I found one in Napa. Of course, Napa Valley is the best grapes.
Mhm.
His name's Michael, and he goes, okay, we'll try. He's very old school. He's a one-man show. And he goes, yeah, sure, we'll try. And I was like, okay. So we made a few bottles. I told him my stomach is very, very sensitive. I'm gonna know if I could drink it or not. I said, don't send me big bottles because I can't even have a glass. If I can't drink it, I can't drink it. So he sends me these little tiny bottles. We did this for 6 months. 6 months it took us to create this wine. So it's a whole new category of wine. There is no wine like it. Wine has a pH balance of 1 to 4. And
Okay.
on a scale from 1 to 4, the lower the pH balance is, the higher acidity it is. The higher
Okay.
pH balance is, the lower acidity. So we got the pH to 3.77. We got it lab proof tested, everything. It's smooth, like velvety smooth, and it's low acidic wine. And then I love scallops and I love seafood. So I'm like, all right. So I pulled the trigger on that. But see, the businesses that I had before were service businesses, right? So
Right.
you build off of that, off of the clients that you start getting, and then you build your business. This was a whole different niche. It's a product. I launched the product before I launched the brand, which is a big mistake. I should have launched the brand, you know what I mean? Get the hype
Right.
and then launch the product. Taught me a lot. But after I finally did everything, then I did the Chardonnay. The Chardonnay
Okay.
so low acidic. It's buttery. It's so smooth.
Mm.
I'm telling you, girl, it was amazing. I
I'm so excited.
yesterday with scallops, like it is so good. And when I go to restaurants out here, I'll bring my own wine. I'm not with a distributor. It's an exclusive wine. You can only get it online. But I'll go to these places. They charge me a corkage fee to open it, but it's
Mhm.
cheaper than me getting a few glasses of wine. Because they mark it up a bunch. But my wine is so good. It's all I drink. It's all I can drink, actually.
Yay! I'm so excited to try it.
You're gonna love it. I'll send you a case.
Oh, thank you. So fun.
Then I have the mimosa magic. I love mimosas too. So if I'm gonna drink,
Mhm.
it's either champagne or it's wine, and that's just me. So
Yep.
I love mimosas, but I hate the sugar content in it. So
Mhm.
a lot of people, they're like just a little bit of orange juice, but yet that orange tastes so good in it, right? Like you want a little bit of orange juice because you don't want all that sugar, but yeah. So I contacted Michael again and I said, hey, I know you said you had you could do flavors for sparkling. I was like, but I want an orange. And he goes, we've never done an orange. And I was like, okay, I'll figure it out. I'll call you back. so, so yeah, I figured it out and I was like, let's use the zest. The zest of an orange is the peel.
Brilliant.
Yeah. So we use the zest of an orange and the zest of a grapefruit. It's
Mhm.
half the calories, half the sugar, and twice the alcohol content of a regular mimosa.
Done.
Is girl. It is so good and refreshing and crisp.
I
Like it tastes
bet.
like a mimosa, exactly like it, but it doesn't have actual orange juice in it. It's
Oh
amazing.
my gosh. I'm so excited. And I love that you're like, oh, well, I learned you should do it differently. Chances are, if I know anything about you, you will get the opportunity to use this newfound knowledge
I
for
will.
something else. Yeah.
I'm actually creating a course because no matter what business it is, if you put
Yeah.
the system in place that I have
Totally.
created, it'll work in any business. But you got to do it from the beginning. It takes a while
Right.
to build because even if you get the perfect team and you get the system together, the website design might take 3 months. With
Hmm.
PR, you might not see a press release for 2 months, or the boxes, the designs, logos, all of this stuff takes time. So it's
Sure.
still going to take a year to build a business, but if you put my system in place, it's foolproof.
Oh
And
my gosh.
now I know the service industry, but now I know products. So now I can apply it to both. And I want to create a course and
Hmm.
just kind of sell people the courses. And of course, they can buy my books too. And I would love to do consulting for businesses and it's hard. As you know, it's hard owning a business and there's ups
Hmm.
and downs. There's days sometimes that I'm crying my eyes out, like, why can't everything just be right? Or I get an outrageous bill that I wasn't prepared for, or there's flaws. And I want to be able to be that light for somebody and say, hey, this is what's going on in my business. I don't know what to do, like, all right, let's talk it out. Because sometimes you just need a
Right.
pep talk as a business owner. Sometimes it's like
Yes.
little fire and let a fire under your ass and be like, all right, you got this. Let's go. Let's go.
Right. Yes. And you need to talk to somebody who has that same entrepreneurial spirit because
Yes, because people don't
because
understand And
No, my ex-husband,
yes,
sweet, I mean, God bless him, because if you don't have that, it's really uncomfortable to talk to somebody who does, right? So he is still in corporate finance. He was my husband. He's still in corporate finance. So it's just really hard when your safety comes from an Excel spreadsheet and everything has a little teeny box and it fits in it so perfectly to talk about this person who is dreaming and my box has no lid and
yes.
I'm like, I could do this, I could do this, I could do this, or I could do that twice. And look at all these people. And, it's just reckless to
As an
him,
entrepreneur, our dating pool is very, very small.
which is good.
You know what? I'm a very happy person. If I'm single the rest of
Totally.
my life, that's fine. But if
Totally.
I would have to find a guy that is a serial entrepreneur like me, because
Mm-hmm.
like anybody can buy a franchise. I have built my businesses from the ground up. I need
Right.
some that has done the same. And that level of respect will be there and that understanding. I want to be able to sit down with a man and have a conversation about business ownership for hours upon hours, never stop talking about it, you know? But to find somebody like that, because a lot of these guys that are entrepreneurs that travel around, they prefer the housewives. Do they not?
Mm.
They prefer the housewives.
Yeah, makes sense.
They could travel around with them and they could make their dinner and they're busy like you and I.
Right.
So our dating pool is very I
That's
would
okay. That's okay. We only need two. So that's
love
fine. Right. And he also needs to be doing the work, like the spiritual work, the internal work,
yes.
right? Because,
A lot of entrepreneurs are very spiritual people like you and
yeah,
I. They believe in affirmations. They believe in
yeah,
manifestation, the vision. I have not met one entrepreneur that does not speak like that.
yeah, that makes sense. Right. Because we're turning thoughts into things every day, all day long.
Yes. You have this vision and boom, it's done, or it's in action. It's amazing.
It's so good. I'm so glad that you're not on the West Coast anymore because we have to play.
You're in New York?
No, I'm in Massachusetts, but I'm close.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
I would love
Yeah.
that. Love that.
Oh my gosh, it's so fun. So I love that you have not only created the system, but you're so generous to write it down. And
I would love to pass it on.
yes,
My son's 20 years old. He's on his third business now.
I love it.
Oh, yeah, the system works. And
I love it. Like Amelia is a fashion designer. She needs to read your
yeah,
books. She needs to implement your system
yes,
because,
she can learn now.
right, exactly. And
The youngest fashion designer.
right? Well, she's not because there are so many that are younger than her. There's this kid. Oh my gosh. You have to, in your 5 seconds of not doing something.
Oh, I'm going down a rabbit hole. I've never heard.
Okay. Oh my gosh. Okay. So it's couture to the max is his Instagram. He
Okay.
started at 4 years old during the pandemic. His mom they live in LA. She was a cardboard artist.
Okay.
And he said, I need a mannequin. And she's like, why do you need a mannequin? It's like, because I'm a dress designer. She's like, okay, well, so she made him, and he says that he was Gucci in another life. He's like 7 years old now. He does New York Fashion Week. He does all of these things. He's darling, and he does commissioned work. He made this gorgeous coat for Sharon Stone. He's just you will
I'm
do
mind blown.
a
I'm speechless. I don't even
deep
know what to say.
dive. I'm so excited that I'm the one that introduced him to you because it will rock your world. He's so phenomenal,
Oh my.
and he's probably like how you were when you were a kid.
So then we have to get your daughter there.
Hmm. Yeah, but she'll say, "Well, yeah, of course he's amazing, but he uses patterns,
Uh,
and she doesn't use patterns.
oh, okay. So see, she's got a different niche.
She totally does, and she's like, Mom, my work doesn't need a pattern." Because it's
Amazing.
coming out of my head into my hands. And
I would love for her to make me something.
she will. She's just finished her Cheshire Cat
Oh,
costume. There's a school dance with an Alice in Wonderland theme, and so she's sewed this beautiful. I mean, she's darling. She gets frustrated though because the sewing is not as good as the sketching because she's been sketching since she was 4 or 5. So she gets frustrated with herself if it doesn't turn out in real life like it did on her drawing. And I said, "Oh, honey, you can hire someone to be your seamstress and you be the designer." But she's so fun. You'll love her.
As a business owner, we get very passionate about our businesses, really
Mm-hmm.
passionate. And there's a problem with that. It's a curse and a blessing, but we're perfectionists. And when we want our business perfect and it's not at our vision yet, we almost don't want to launch. It freezes us. Somebody very important out here in New York had a talk with me and he made fun of me because I was holding off on advertising for my wine because I was waiting for these boxes and it took me months to find an actual place at a reasonable price to get these boxes for my wine to go in. And so we're sitting there having dinner and he's like, "So you have the product?" I said, "Yeah, I've got like 700 cases." "Why aren't you selling the product?" "Well, because I don't have the boxes yet. Like, this is my vision. This is my brand. I want it to look beautiful." So he goes, I don't have my boxes yet and I can't sell my product. Like he starts making fun of me. And I was like, I sound like that. And he goes, "The problem is," said, "you're too passionate about your business. You're too emotionally involved in it." He goes, "Passion is good, but you're too emotionally involved in it. You're too obsessed with the perfection of it." He goes, "Sell
Mm,
your product, sell it, sell it, sell it, and start working on perfection as you go along with the aesthetics," is what he's talking about. The product is perfect. It's the aesthetics that I want perfect, right? But
right?
your daughter, you should just tell her, like, it's perfect for right now. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. Let's keep going because she's going to reach a point where that sewing is going to look like that because it sounds like she's that upset about it where it's going to be
Yep.
affected. She's
Yes.
fine.
Oh my gosh. That is beautiful and what everyone needs to hear
Yeah.
because we are the ones that are standing in the way
Yes, of our
of
own.
our own
Yes,
progress. Like
yes,
here, where I am and where I want to be, the only thing you can call it 1,000 other things and 32 other people, but I am telling you, it's you. You are the only one standing in your own way. I am the only one standing in my own way. And as soon as we can drop that, because perfectionism is a trauma response and it's just procrastination in disguise. Like it is keeping us from, it's a fear of success.
yeah. Being a perfectionist and being a business, I think they come hand in hand though.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like then businesses would be sloppy, paperwork would be you wouldn't have a successful business. It'd be impossible.
Right. But I think for me, perfection is the enemy of good.
What do you mean?
If
Elaborate.
I'm not letting myself do what I know I need to do, if I'm waiting for it to be perfect before I do it,
Right?
nothing is happening.
Yes.
Right. So, right. Because then you're just like, oh my gosh, I worked so hard and it was perfect. And then no one bought it or it didn't work or what. It's because it's emotion, it's moving, we're course correcting. And that is giving ourselves permission to make a mistake
Yes.
probably leads to fewer mistakes
Yeah.
because we're not trying so hard to make sure that it's quote unquote perfect. So you have done such a beautiful job with that, with trying things and iterating. And I'm going to try this and I'm going to be the one to do it because if I'm going to teach it, I got to do it first. And giving yourself permission to learn,
Yes.
which is the same thing as giving yourself permission to fail because it's just feedback. You're just learning. It's just information. And we
Right.
don't know. I mean, I don't know what it looks like over there until I start walking over there. And then I go, oh, I don't even want to be here. I'm going to go left. Okay, let's walk over here. That looks good. Let's see if that. And I'm just developing these muscles of trusting myself and trusting that I don't have to have it completely figured out before I take the first step.
Yes.
Because right, because we won't take any steps. There will
Yes.
there will be no steps if I
Yes.
have to wait for it to be perfect.
You're absolutely right.
Yes, but I totally agree with you of having a passion for the project and to be mindful of when that is impeding us
Yes.
from actually having an impact.
100%. 100%.
So good. Oh my gosh. Okay. I love you. You're amazing. I can't believe that you had time to even have a conversation, but I'm so thrilled that you did. Please tell everyone where they can find and follow you, where they can get their hands on the books and the wine and the courses and all the stuff.
I think if you just Google my name, everything comes up, because I can give you a million different websites, but it's Italia, Italia, and my last name is Tornabene, Tornabene. Just Google me and you'll see the wine pop up, the books pop up, but the autobiography comes out soon, I believe, end of August, maybe.
Awesome.
And I do have a cookbook coming out in
Of course you do.
but the cookbook incorporates one of my wines with each one of the recipes.
Of course
Okay.
it does. Oh my gosh. I love you. You're so fun.
Thank you. I
Oh
appreciate
my
having me
gosh.
on.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I hope you enjoyed that conversation as much as I did. As always, any links or notes mentioned can be found at phineaswrighthouse.com in the podcast section of our site or in the show notes below. And if you haven't connected with me personally, come find me on Instagram at Phineas Wrighthouse and let me know you listened to this episode. I'd love to get to know you. Thank you for sharing this time with me. I know your days are full, and I'm really grateful that you chose to spend some of your precious time right here. Be sure to subscribe to the podcast so you don't miss any of these delightful conversations. I'll see you next week.